Hello everybody and welcome back. It's Creative Redundancy back again, also known as CR. Now you can write that with a C, small case C and an R, although I usually do it or use a capital C dot, capital R and a dot. But anyways, as you can tell by the title, this is Discovery Mode plus Chit Chat. This is going to be more like a podcast, so mostly audio only. You will see my intro though. So let's dive into what I call Discovery Mode. Now there's a lot of hidden potential out there in the world. Just gotta go out there and find it at times. So let me whip out the intro here. I already know people are coming in, which is cool and all. So I'm gonna have my static icon on the screen here. Which I'm gonna randomly move around it every so often. Woo! Oh. Not that though. I'm just gonna move it in to right there. Lock my preview here on OBS here. Now, what you're seeing on the screen here is supposed to inline everyone. Hence, that's why I decided to put up a picture of the sun, which I took a picture of like a long time ago using like Mylar. A long time ago. That's why and how I have this picture. Or else I wouldn't be able to have this because it would be way too bright. So, let me just whip out the side chat here. Oh, yeah. I got Jeep Things Outdoors. Johnny! What's up, man? What is up? Johnny from Jeep Things Outdoors is in the house. Let me welcome him. Even though I already said hi to him. Let me officially welcome him here. If I could spell it right. Okay. We got a few other people in here too. That's cool and all. Yay! Alright, so now once again I'll state that, you know, I'm no expert in survivalism, bushcrafting, or preparedness. Just trying to put that knowledge and skill into something more constructive or useful. Now obviously the word discovery comes from the word discover, obviously. And if you didn't know that, well, you just discovered that. So, if you look up the word discover, it states to find something or someone unexpectedly or in the course of a search. And of course, obviously, discovery with a Y here. The action or process of discovering or being discovered. So what does that really mean? What does discovery mode mean for me? To me, it means to go out there where it's scavenging or whatever. And sometimes discovery mode leads me to creation mode because I discover something new or that I haven't seen before. Maybe I'm discovering something from that outside of the box type of thinking, and I'm like, you know, it's one of those things at times where you find something, a solution to a problem, or something, or you're improving on something, maybe a weight reduction of something, and you're just like, you just discovered it, and then you're just like, wow, I wish I had discovered this or found this a long time ago. But sometimes it's better to know something now or discover something or find out about something now than later, where it could be, either too late or I wish I had discovered it before it happened, if that makes any sense. So let me bring it back up. Of course, you're welcome, Jeep Things Outdoors. Of course, of course. I'm not sure how long I'll go for this. Probably not too long. Probably for a half an hour, give or take. I know I got some people dropping in. Now, if more people drop in, maybe I'll go a little bit longer. Here. Now, for Jeep Things Outdoors, you're gonna see something on the what's it called, on the chat here. As I literally rolled that pun right into him. Although I'm bad for rolling those puns out at times, but you know, it's funny. It's more memorable too. So discovery mode. Coming back to it. Like, when I'm in discovery mode, sometimes I'm considering things outside the box. Maybe just trying to find that solution or an idea. Whatever it is, whenever it is, I mean, like, sometimes I've already discovered it or found it beforehand, right? And I'm incorporating or applying it now. But then, even earlier today, I discovered something new. Now, I'm not gonna release it yet because there will be a video on it. It's funny sometimes. Some things you're like, it's been in front of your face the whole time. You've seen it many times, thousands of times, you know, and you just, you know, discovered this kind of hidden use for it because you kind of thought outside the box or whatever. I mean, I've shown. So, for example, I have it right in front of me. Here is what I call a wooden spool. I mean, I've always seen sticks, you know, and stuff like that, and wood and stuff like that. And it just cued into me. I'm like, hey, I can make my own. You know, and I dived into that and found out that I'm like, oh, hey, this is actually easier than I thought. Which led me to discover something else today. Another way of making a different type of spool. I'm still working on it, learning about it, you know, and discovering it, let's just say. Finding more about it, but I'm just like, let's just say I reduced the weight on the spool, let's just say. So basically I've gone away from this wooden spool, which isn't so bad. I mean, like, it's really simple to do. All it takes is some wood, maybe some sort of drill. Now you can obviously reduce the time of making it by using power tools, obviously, but I don't see why not. You can be able to do it with some sort of egg beater type of hand drill thing. It just take a little bit longer. Obviously, hand tools take much longer than power tools, but obviously power tools need power of some sort of, usually electricity to drive it. Now, in, you know, older times, it would be like harnessing like energy from like water wheel or wind power, or maybe mechanical energy like human power or animal power, like ox going around a circle that has with a wheel and an axle that's spinning gears, and you know, that's running like a saw, for example. Yeah, yeah, Johnny, just let me, I'll make sure I'll message you after. I'll message you after, man. You got something on your about page for that, by the way? Hey, it's Amanda. Hi, Amanda. Well, actually, Amanda, this is a different live stream. That active live stream is done, which I just did. Which everyone can go back and check it out. It was very active, let's just say. Let's just say I wore a backpack for like half an hour. Anyways, getting back to my discovery mode here. Sometimes it's just, you know, you see the stuff in front of you, and it doesn't really clue in, you know, that hidden potential until maybe for some reason you see another video, talk to someone else, watch a video, talk to someone, maybe even on a side chat on like a live stream, a keyword, an image comes to mind, a video or whatever, and just like, it just, the association of it just comes to play, and you're just like thinking, you know, and kind of like, hey, wait a second, yeah, you know, for example, if maybe Johnny here from G Things Outdoor said something, whatever, right? Like, let's say, for example, I'm trying to wing this here, but for example, like, he just said something about, like, mailing and a sticker. And here Amanda said something about coming back from lunch or whatever, right? And let's say I was just thinking, I'm like, okay, mailing, sticker, lunch, coffee, and then something comes to mind where I'm using like some mailing address, I mean not mailing address, a card that we use for mailing, like a postcard or whatever, right? And let's say, for example, I cut something with a sticker, put it on, for example, and you thinking about lunch, and I'm like, oh, well, I just had a sandwich with mustard or whatever, and thinking about my coffee that I have right in front of me, which I actually do. I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, hey, I can make something from that. And discover something from that where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use this, use this kind of mailing card, postcard, whatever, right? Maybe it's a blank card, like an envelope, for example, and use that mustard I just had from that sandwich, put a little bit on for decoration as a source of color, use that coffee I just had as a source of color, make something out of it, put it with a sticker, and come up with some crazy logo, for example. Something similar to that, where it's just like, if you guys can understand that, anyone watching and listening right now, that kind of just putting things together and just like discovering something, a hidden potential, something you might not notice, and just trying it out. Or just like, what? What? This works? Or it looks so cool, right? Sometimes when you show certain people something and they're like, oh, that's so cool. Where'd you get that? Oh, I just made it. I just made it. And I'm like, what? Really? Or, sometimes where you've made something, or, you hear stories like that where someone made something and you're like, oh, you should sell that. You should try selling that. Or you should sell that at the fair. Or you should sell that at the local farmer's market or whatever, right? Maybe it's some jewelry. I don't know. Right? Something similar to that. Johnny, do you have an email that can send you? Because actually, you can send me an email, Johnny, through my About page. It's there. It's there. I know it's there because I've actually set it up. Because I have a Gmail associated with this YouTube channel under the same username. So, I mean, pretty sure everyone knows my username. It's a little bit longer than CR, let's just say. But it starts with a CR. Just kidding. But yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. With stripes, right? I haven't seen that video yet. Because sometimes it's hard to come in and watch everyone's content. I try. I mean, it's hard. It's hard, unfortunately. Anyways, I'm getting kind of off topic here about channel supporting. Not saying channel supporting is not important, but so it's discovery mode. But yeah, I think G-Pinks here can understand, kind of can relate to it. Understand that it's hard to put into words at times, or like, so that's, I mean, it just happens sometimes. It's just like you're just putting one and one together, and you're getting like 11. Like a teacher used to tell me about ideas where, you know, normally it would be 1 plus 1 equals 2, but then sometimes you discover something or whatever, right? And open that box, outside the box thinking, and realize, hey, this one item plus this one item doesn't necessarily just equal this, or 2 in math terms, but hey, it equals a lot more than that, where it's 11. Just something I learned a long time ago, and I keep that in mind. That, you know, there's a lot of possibilities. It's not just a fixed 1 plus 1 is 2. Not, you know, logically, like map, 1 plus 1 is 2. Sometimes 1 plus 1 can equal 11. So there's more possibilities than you realize. You just haven't thought it all the way through yet, or considered everything. Alright, Johnny. Alright. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, you can send it to me and I'll receive an email notification about it. I can't wait to see that. Make sure you stick to that plan. Just kidding. I always gotta bring out these stupid puns. That makes it more enjoyable sometimes. Sometimes these puns are a little bit more enjoyable. You know, gets you kind of more relaxed. Enjoy that fun side of creating. That fun side of winging stuff. And that's another thing too about sometimes. Oh, jeez, what the? I seem to have a slight hiccup there for a second there. Because I don't have. I'm not looking at the OBS right now. I'm looking at the YouTube live dashboard. So I just saw my screen go blank for a second there. But it seems like it's okay. I'll just kind of randomly move my thing around here just so I can see it here. It would help if I actually click it right. So I'll just randomly move my CR logo around here. Just so I actually know that I'm still good. I should be good though. Anyways, I just wanted to come on quick for this. Because, I mean, discovering something isn't really a big topic or whatever. And probably shouldn't take that long to talk about. So I probably should go for another 8 minutes here. Probably about the half an hour mark. If it goes longer or whatever, you know, whatever. Not sure why my screen keeps going blank on that. Now, anyways, coming back to this discovery mode, I mean, sometimes, you know, it has a relation. There's a relationship, or how do I say? It goes hand in hand with creation mode with me and scavenging mode. Because sometimes I'm discovering something, maybe it's not necessarily new or whatever, but it's new to me. It might be new to you. Might not be new to the person down the road. They'll be like, oh yeah, I found out about that last week or a year ago. I'll be like, oh really? That's cool. I just discovered that or learned about that. So, I mean, sometimes discovery mode for people or discovering something, it's new to them at that time. Maybe not to you or to the next person, because they've already discovered that. But don't let that discourage you from discovering something. Because there's a lot of hidden potential in this world. Like, specifically, like, with gear and material goods, obviously. But there's other things, too, to discover. Even, like, how do I say... For example, sometimes... I've done this before a few times, where someone showed me something, they're like writing on a piece of glass or something like that, and I actually, to me, I discovered or incorporated that idea into some of the live streams where I'm welcoming people, whoever, for example, let's say Johnny here from Cheap Things Outdoors. I'll be like, I'll rate it on, especially if I'm in the creation mode and have a top-down view for the live stream of what I'm showing. I'll be like, I'll just write it down on a piece of glass or whatever and welcome people like that. I didn't think much of it at first. When I started doing it, then people started to enjoy it. I'm like, oh, yeah, I discovered a new way to kind of welcome people. So not just welcoming people through like through the chat or through me saying welcome, like whoever's here right now, but actually seeing it on the screen too. So you just see, so for example, I guess you would be seeing it on the screen, hearing it, and seeing it in the chat. So I'm making whoever it is, channel XYZ, stand out a lot more. Because I appreciate the channel support so much, and I wanted to welcome people like that. And now it's migrated to like kind of like a stage prop, or in my case, a live stream prop. So people will see that. I think when Johnny here sends me that, I'll probably start using that as a stage prop when he comes in. It's kind of hard to show a Jeep in front of the camera when you're inside. And I don't have another sticker with like a Jeep with it on it, as far as I know. And for Amanda here, I'm not sure what I would use as a stage prop. Besides, I mean, yeah, I could write something on the card or a piece of paper. That just seems too simple. I want a little bit more elaborate, more pizzazz, as they say, than that. I mean, even a couple of days ago, I was just like, I was doing some sort of live stream and showing some stuff or whatever, and I wrote hi with like on a card, and I actually have brought it back. I've actually kept it now because, well, it was different. So when people come in, I can be like, hi with this card, and it's kind of more unique. Hey Johnny, I think Amanda likes that Jeep life. I don't know why. Maybe it's that sentence, or maybe it's that smiley face she just gave at the end of the sentence. Maybe. Let me just see what you just wrote there. Sometimes there can be many ways to do the same thing and none of them are technically wrong. Yes. Obviously, sometimes, like anything, there's pros and cons, strengths and weaknesses behind stuff like that. You know, you like, there's lots of ways to make fire. Technically, are they all wrong? No. But technically, one or the other have strengths and weaknesses, pros and cons. Like, you know, obviously something like a heat source like solar isn't all work at night or when it's cloudy or rainy. But in strong sun, yeah, it's pretty good, even against wind. Now for a later, for example, like a later, generally speaking, with a flame source, wind's not knock it out. It's vulnerable to water, for example. And a lighter, for example, is vulnerable to cold too. Below freezing temperatures, the fuel inside uh, doesn't expand as well. So that's why in cold, you're not gonna get a good flame, or if you do, you get a very small flame. And let me welcome Illinois Adventures into the house here. Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate it so much. I guess you have been by. Because obviously I gave you a spanner, wrench, or a moderator thing in there, so. Yes, let me welcome you. If I can type it right. Welcome! With a big caps there, big caps there. So, coming back to it, so yeah, like sparking source like a ferrite, magnesium, ferrite combo, flint and steel and such, they're less vulnerable to water. They're not totally invulnerable to water, because over like a long period of time they can corrode away, and sparks tend to be kind of vulnerable to wind because wind can blow the sparks away and distance and stuff like that. But in the cold, does much better than a lighter does because it's not as vulnerable to the cold so much. But that's just using fire starting methods for as an example. So that was a good point there to bring up cheap things. Oh, I guess I'm at the half an hour mark already. That was fast. Time goes fast when you live streaming. No wonder what they say about when those test videos that go for like, oh, I'm only gonna be here for 5 minutes, and they go for like 3 hours later. Anyways, I'm jumping away from the topic that I wanted to talk about, but discovery mode again. So, like I've been saying, there's a lot of hidden potential out there in the world. You just gotta go out there and find it at times. Maybe, I'll relate it to like reusing something. Sometimes when I'm reusing something, at first I'm like, oh, I can't think of anything, and I just have the object laying around for a little bit until randomly, like I said, you see a video, someone talks about something, a keyword comes into your mind, you see a keyword randomly on the screen, like Nathaniel's Adventures dropping in, and let me welcome him in there. As he suddenly jumps in here. And you realize, hey, I just discovered something. A hidden use or some hidden potential of something. And I know Nathaniel kind of can relate to it because he just did a video on like some like sandal he found on the side of the road. He started up with sparks from ferrite, for example. Right? It's probably something like that where he's just like, huh, he discovered that works. And just out of nowhere, too, right? Just some random thing. He's like, oh, let's try this out, right? And that's another thing, trying stuff out. Because when you try stuff out, yeah, maybe it fails. But sometimes you get a success and you realize, hey, I just discovered this works, and you add it to that knowledge bank, let's say, the list of things that, in this case, for like a fair run or whatever, that can work. And you're like, okay, that works, okay, so, you keep that in mind. Yeah, exactly, see? See how I'm winging it a lot right now? So, I'm glad that Nathaniel came in. That's awesome, man. Oh, I didn't think everyone would enjoy Discovery Mode so much. But, I mean, there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of potential out there. Don't per se, not discourage, but what's that word, discounted? No, not discounted. Counted out yet. Or think it's not gonna work initially. Dive into it a little bit more. Discover a little bit more about it, and maybe, just maybe, it might just work. It's not, like I said, it's not always, when I'm in discovery mode, there's gonna be fails, or things that don't work, or it's not as great as I thought, in comparison to what I'm currently using, or currently could be using for it. But then there's other times where you're just like, wow, I'm glad I just discovered this, or found out about this. It's so much better. This XYZ method or idea or method of doing it is so much better than the ABC method. Tenfold or whatever. Of course, I'm hypothetically speaking, I'm trying to come up with examples here without releasing too much. I mean, even today, like I said, I've just discovered something new, of a new way to make a spool. And you'll see it. You'll probably see a video on it. I'll probably end screen it once I put up that video. It's actually sitting right in front of me right now. Right? Of course, you gotta wait for that video, because I'm still trying it out. Because I need to make more than just one or two. Just so I have more to show. And kind of go into more detail for it. Yes, exactly. Exactly. There's always at least second use for a lot of things. Maybe not every last thing. Now, let's say I'm trying, and a lot of the time the secondary use, I tend to say, how I say, anything can burn. Anything can be used, virtually anything can be used for fire. Even metal. Like, come on, like magnesium burns. You just kind of have to, like, make it into, like, a powder, or increase the surface area so you scrape it. Right? But that's metal. Metal doesn't... Usually metals don't burn. Or we think of metals as melting and not really catching on fire. But, you apply enough heat, or increase the surface area, or make it into, like a powder or whatever, it'll burn. And hence you get something like fireworks, for example. If I remember right, I'm trying to remember it. I think something like copper or something gives you a blue or a green. No, a blue, I think. And, I'm no expert in pyrotechnics, but I think copper gives you a blue. So, like, anything can burn. But anyways, I'm really getting off a little bit more off topic here, but yes, there's a lot of secondary uses for a lot of things, and consider it. Just think about it for a sec, alright? And just be like, can I use, even with, like, Ranger bands, bicycle inner tubes, I've, discovering a little bit more I can use them for. Now, as everyone is aware, and I know Johnny here from G Things Outdoors enjoys biking too. And honestly, some other people, my channel supporters and such, and whoever's watching or listening enjoys biking too. Those bicycle inner tubes, after you pump the tube, you can't repair it, you can't patch it anymore. The gash or the opening is way too big, you can't really patch it, so you start to reusing it. And standard Ranger bands, similar to rubber band, but it's made from a bicycle inner tube. That's you know, the first thing you might think of, for example. But there's other things you could do with them. I mean, I'll probably have a whole video on that. I've shown a few, and I've came up with a few different ideas, such as wrapping it using, pardon me, such as wrapping it. And the idea really came from a different idea of me learning a different kind of, I don't want to say skill, but way of, well, everyone's known that everyone's seen, and I have a video on making yarn, which is actually plastic yarn, basically braiding it into cordage, or into stronger cordage, using like braiding it with a zipper chains in it type of method of braiding. Well, let's just say the way I make the yarn in the video is the same way that I make the method of cutting it up with the bicycle inner tube. Hence, now I can wrap it, because now it's one continuous strand of not yarn or plastic bags in this case, but of bicycle inner tube. Hence, now I can wrap it and do all that stuff now you potentially could do with cordage. So stuff like how do I say, what's that? People that wrap paracord around their knife sheaths and stuff like that, similar to that. That's just an example right there. And I've started to do that with one, and I started to do that, and I'm like, oh, hey, then I started to apply that to a lot more stuff. I'm like, hey, this is cool. Now I'm reusing it, putting it into use. It's in a useful state, for example, because now it gives me that extra grip on like a cutting tool, like a knife, like on a Mora, for example. Now I'm applying it to other things, and I'm like, we're me just trying something out and discovering something led me to creating more. And basically discovery mode can feed the creation mode part of me for a very, very long time. And the scavenging part helps too, and the reusing part or repurposing part. Let me welcome Inside Freedom to my chat or live stream room right now. Let me welcome him, and with a big welcome in caps. Whoop whoop. Let me see here. You made many slingshots from inner tubes growing up. Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. And reusing that stuff, right? And you kind of learned about that, and then hopefully, whatever you discover in the present can help you later on in the future. Or those skills that you learn or knowledge that you learned, picked up, or discovered from whatever the source is, like YouTube, online, real people, or just discovering it on your own. Hopefully you can use that in the future somehow. Right? Knowledge weighs nothing, as they say. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. You're gonna make a gravity deer feeder out of a 5-gallon bucket, so you're gonna reuse a lot of extra wood and PVC type of pipes to make it. That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, that reminds me, I used PVC to make some other stuff and kind of discovered something else, and I've shown it on a live stream before. I'm pretty sure I've shown it either on a live stream or on a stacked video. about using it as to store tape on, like rolls of tape on. Because everyone's familiar with PVC having a, well, obviously PVC is hollow. Like, it's basically a plastic cylinder. So I basically put it on there, stuck some cordage through, and voila, went from there. So I can hang it. Or you might have seen there are people using it, something like that with like rods or whatever in their like garage or something like that, standing up or whatever. I have a friend out in the country that has something like that. And I can picture it in my head right now because it's right beside their kind of furnace or stove or heater for their kind of workshop. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you dropping by, man. The cable guy. I'll have fun. Take care, man. I appreciate it, like I said. Anyways, I'll probably go for another 5 minutes here, because I'm starting to repeat myself a little bit more. It's because everyone started to jump in. I was actually going to leave like 15 minutes ago, but also with lots of people coming in, I decided to, you know, stick around a little bit longer. Okay, Insight. That's okay, man. I'm only gonna go for like another 5 minutes here at the 15-minute mark, unless for some reason something changes, or for some reason I discover more because someone came in or whatever. I enjoy everyone sharing some, you know, maybe some stories here and there, or even ideas here and there. I enjoy that constructive feedback. I enjoy that very much so. Because there's a lot of ideas out there to discover. Like, there's, like, what, 6 billion people plus on the planet right now? There's a lot of ideas to discover out there. Not saying that every idea is original, or per se. Me or me came up with it. I'm the first one to come up with it. No, maybe it's not always like that. But for you or for myself, it could be, hey, this is new to me. You know, and you talk to everyone else, and they're like, you know, you bring up that idea, or you show it to them, or you apply it in the real world for whatever reason. You have a chance to show it, like at a party, family gathering, I don't know, with friends, at the bar, socializing or whatever, and you're just like, you show it, and they're like, what? And they're like, how the hell did you come up with that? And you can be like, oh, I was in discovery mode and I just discovered it. I just found it out. Right? You know, people say that a lot of times, and you hear that from time to time. You know, and you're like, pretty sure it's not new, but, you know, it's new to me. You know, I want to share this with you guys. Something I discovered or found out. Something like that. I mean, a lot of these kind of what they call life hacks or whatever, right? There's a lot of parts, a lot of discovery mode too, where they're discovering something. You know, that hidden potential of stuff. You know, there's videos on that. There's on the mainstream channel, mainstream TV networks, such and such, right? You know, those life hacks. I mean, not saying all of them work absolutely 100% as shown, but, you know, because obviously you should try it out and test it out and try it for your own self in the real world with what you have. But some of them do work to a certain degree, and maybe pick up some more ideas, right, and understand the concept of how it works. I mean, let's say so for example, not saying you would do this, but like, I've seen this video where they use a dumpster to make a hot tub. That's, you know, yeah, probably that's not gonna be like something you would do, right? Because most of the time when you find a dumpster, it's dirty, such and such, and there's some other things to consider too. But I mean, like, you could apply that to something else. For example, I can't think of an example right now, but you know, that's just something to consider and be like, okay, maybe apply that idea to somewhere else. And you discover something else from it and be like, and that's where it leads me back to this kind of saying that a teacher and no, well, not a mentor, but a teacher once told me that 1 plus 1 equals 11. Now, obviously, mathematically and logically, 1 plus 1 equals 2, but the thing about this 1 plus 1 equals 11 is really how one idea plus one idea, for example, can not just lead you to 2 ideas, but it could lead you to multitude of ideas. So actually, I'm gonna put that on the description here. You'll see it there. If I could spell it right. Alright. Jeez, I can't even spell this. Discovery and discovering right, even though I have it on the screen. Hello, Lady Aquarius Prepper. Hi. How's it going? Hopefully everything's good. I guess I might as well go up to that hour mark now. I said I was gonna take off in 5 minutes, but I guess I get some people coming in and hey, thanks Chief Things Outdoors. I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. I appreciate that very much so. How's it going, Lady Aquarius? If I can, oops. Big giant hello in caps with a wave emoji there. So yeah, I'll try to go for that hour mark, but we'll see. Hey, thanks man, I appreciate that very much so. Oops, if I could spell it right, okay. Take care, man. And like always I say to you, and I always mean it, thank you for your channel support, man. I appreciate very much so. And look who just comes into the win here and just shows up. West Wind Survival. I like how I'm like really like winging everyone that's coming by from what I was just talking about. Alright. I guess I'm getting better at kind of winging it or improvising it. So, again, I guess I'll be saying this because I just said it like... You know, I really should have been more prepared to have more people come in, such as Prepping to Endure here, with a capital E at the end here. So let me welcome here. I guess I should have gave more notice for an event notification. Maybe I should give that extra 5 minutes in there. So let me welcome both of them in here. You know what? I could even though I can moderate and wrench and span my own channel, I don't mind having more. Why not? Why not? I appreciate the support. I appreciate support, and I know when I send out these spanners, wrenches, and moderator wrenches thingies, you guys don't have my back if need be. Although usually my live streams I have the chat window open in anyway, so. And I usually notice that stuff. But, you know, sometimes I'm just kind of not paying attention, and I'm off to the side, or whatever, doing something else, chatting about something else, and I don't see certain things at first, and stuff like that on the chat, so I appreciate it. So, yes. Yeah. So, West Wind Survival, I've decided to make you a moderator. So you get that blue wrench, spanner, whatever you want to call that emoji icon thing. So I'll probably be ending the show, this live stream, within the next 5 minutes, going up to the top of the hour, that hour mark, 60-minute mark here. So in the last few minutes, I'll kind of summarize, I guess, what I've been talking about discovery mode. And like I said, and like it says on the description, it's a podcast like type audio only thing. Okay, so this is more like information. I really don't have an actual. I can show you something, but it's better if I describe it. Even though a picture says 1,000 words, sometimes I rather say the 1,000 words. So, like it says in the description, you know, there's a lot of hidden things in this world, hidden potential in this world. You know, you just gotta go out there and, you know, find it at times. And I just realized my description's kind of, the grammar's wrong in there. Go figure. Oh, no, actually I got it right. Yeah, just got to go out, and, yeah. Jeez, I thought I had my grammar wrong. For some reason I type so fast, sometimes my grammar's wrong. Where I'm supposed to write R-A-R-E, and I write is for some reason. I don't know. You know, or there, and you know, all that stuff. So anyways, coming back to what I was saying. You know, there's a lot of hidden potential out in the world. And, you know, you just gotta go out and find it, you know. You gotta go find that stuff. And think outside the cabin with Cabin Life and Glenn and Maureen here. Oh wait, I meant box. I'm doing good indeed. And I guess I'll go up to the hour mark. Maybe I should come back on our live stream again and do another topic. That's a little bit more interactive than this one. I wasn't even planning for this Discovery Mode Chit Chat podcast / only audio only to go so long. I was gonna end this at the half an hour mark. Yeah, I had more people come in, and you know how that goes. It's just like when you're trying to exit a live stream, it's just like, oh wait, I gotta wait for everyone to say, the channel to say bye. Oh, now everyone's saying bye, you know, and then you want to say bye, and next thing you know, you're there for the extra 5 minutes, and you're 5 minutes to wait for work. All right, I will end this in 4 to 3 minutes here, for sure, at the top of the hour bar, because my indicator is going at the 56, coming up to 57. So I want to say a special thanks to everybody, which seems to be a lot more people than I thought that dropped by here. Chief Things Outdoors, Amanda M, Illinois Adventures, Nathaniel came in, Insight Freedom, Lady Aquarius Prepper, prepping to ender with a capital E at the end. Westwind Survival, who just drifted by. And of course, Cabin Life with Glenn and Maureen. Well, I'm trying to figure out who's actually watching. It's probably Glenn. It's probably Glenn. It's probably Glenn watching. So I want to say special thanks to all of them for taking the time to drop by while the stream was live and participating on the side chat and giving all those words of encouragement, let's just say. Alright, so now I'm at the 2-minute mark here. So 2 more minutes, guys, for me on this live stream. Let's see here. What do I want to say here? In the last 2 minutes here, I already said my thanks and all that stuff. Maybe I'll have a sip here. My throat's kinda dry. You know, there's also gonna be more live streams, more videos coming in the future, like always. Especially since, like I said, 1 + 1 = 11 when it comes to discovery. And for me, at times, 1 + 1 = 11 when it comes to creation mode. Although, lately I feel like 1 + 1 = like infinity when it comes to creation mode. Sometimes I always feel like there's no limits in creation mode. Especially just considering things. There's so much potential out there, you know? Just gotta go out there and just take a look and just try it. And like I said earlier in the live stream, yeah, maybe it fails, maybe it's not as great, but at least you tried. Because sometimes you might find that hidden potential, that hidden gem, that hidden diamond, so to speak, metaphorically speaking of it. And you're just like, wow, this is awesome. Why didn't I do this, or create this, or make this, or started this, or learned about this, you know, before? Well, at least you did now. At least you learned it in the present now, so you can apply it in the future. For example. Yes, the only limit is your mind. And with that, you know what I hear, guys? No, it's not the birds. Oh, no, it's not those leaves falling because fall's coming. Oh, it's not the chat. No, I hear my outro. Yeah, I hear my outro coming. So, as the world changes so much oneself to reach a new level of skill and knowledge, one must practice. A single person can't help everyone in this world, but one person, no matter your age, to a certain degree, right? Also, if you're 1 or 2, maybe that's a little bit different. Your race, gender, size, height, body build, IQ level, maybe even to a certain degree, skill, knowledge, and experience level, right? Can help someone in this world. And until the next video or live stream, replay for me, it's peace out from the guy that's discovering more out there. Discovering that hidden potential to feed the creation mode that is maybe not all the time, but at least 98.6% of the time in this in creation mode. It's peace out from, you know who? Yep, the guy with 2 letters, C and an R. And I'll catch you next time. Thank you for dropping in and take care.